Good afternoon, everyone. The expected amplification of the grand solar minimum right here in front of you. And what do we have? 5 months worth of rain in Majorca, extreme floods in Iran, floods in Yemen, 6 months worth of rain. Dubrovnik, Croatia, 6 months worth of rain in Tunisia. Record-breaking rains over Arizona that look something like this, flooding the desert. Australia hailstorms so intense they're pounding people, hospitalized, as well as 400 kangaroos and 150 goats killed because of the hail. And following on the all-time record snowiest September, now October. For Alberta, I had a snow truck driver contact me personally and relay his stories of what's happening. And with these weather changes upon us, sometimes our delivery systems are going to break down. It's just a good idea to have some supplies set aside. How are you set for emergency food or long-term food storage? Take a look at what My Patriot Supply offers. You can check out the Adapt Ice Age 2030 page with the link below in the description box, as well as the link to Mini Ice Age Conversations Podcast 122, really delving into the question, do you really think governments across the planet would tell you the population of the impending changes on Earth? I'll bring you over here to the magnetic wave coupling of the sun as we enter into the grand solar minimum. We're in the first wave, and where you can see clearly, the yellow moves into the green. That is the last 6 months of where we are currently in the calendar. Now, as this wave splits, these are the magnetic fields. Once they start canceling, our weather systems on this planet are going to become more unsettled. And these storms that you're seeing now that are dropping 6 months worth of rain in 3 hours, is nowhere near close to where the weather's going to go around 2021. The wider the wave is, the more intense the weather is. Now you're starting to see these extreme changes. So what is an atmospheric compression event? Well, it's basically when the clouds ring out. They have nowhere to go when these jet streams are pushing against each other and the different air layers are compressing down on the clouds, and it actually rings out like a sponge. Examples right here for you. 6 months worth of rain in 3 hours in Dubrovnik, Croatia. And then we also see 6 months worth of rain in a day in Tunisia. And now ex-Hurricane Rosa, record-breaking floods in Mexico and Arizona. And before we look at those images, tropical cyclone, out of season, out of place, lands over in Yemen. Massive floods like they saw a few months back where it created lakes across Oman, Yemen, and parts of Saudi Arabia. Majorca, 5 months worth of rain in 2 hours in Spain. France also, months worth of rain in just a couple of hours. And then we have in Iran the same thing, extreme rainfall, months worth of rain in just a day. It's happening everywhere on the planet. Look here into Arizona at the moment, Marble Falls. This is just a single location. It's an ongoing event, so as it transitions over the next couple of days, we'll get more images, but this is what's happening at the moment. And when you look at some of these images, whatever factories are down there, food storage facilities, those are flooded. We're talking about massive, massive precipitation changes right now as these jet streams move because of our weakening magnetosphere. Alberta records snowiest September since records began. But on top of this, they also have the snowiest October ever since records began, and that was a week ago. They broke that entire monthly record in the first week of October. And the early snowstorm shattering Calgary precipitation and temperature records. And I am so thankful and grateful that one of the snowplow drivers up there reached out to me personally, sent me a few images, said I could use them. And here is, quote, what was written to me in the email. I work for Alberta Transportation. I've spent 38 hours in a snowplow for the last 3 days. I can assure you that we are ready for this type of event on the highway. Contractually, we must have 14 plows ready by October 1st and all 28 plows by October 15th. This is for the provincial highways. Now, Calgary is something different. They actually rely on Chinook's warm air masses from the Pacific in their snow removal plans. So as these jet streams move, the grand solar minimum is certainly going to throw a wrench into that city planning. Now, much of the carnage that you read about of all the buses stranded, people stranded in Calgary is because they don't put winter tires on their buses. Unbelievable, but true. And see, here we go. This is where community starts to help community, because Edmonton graciously sent 30 small snowplows and 60 operators down to Calgary. See, this is what it's all about, working together with your community and your region. This is how we survive. This is how we thrive during this time. Now, more exceptional rains. 4 months worth of rain in 6 hours in southern France. The Phoenix, Arizona, wettest October ever, and you see we're not even halfway through the month yet. More flooding on the way as that storm system passes over. And then another tropical cyclone slamming Andhra Pradesh. So you see, as we move around the planet, it is everywhere. Into Australia, tennis ball-sized hail batters Australian woman, as well as others. Superstorms hitting Queensland. These supercells, as they call it, 320 calls for help just from hail damage. And Australia saw some massive storms. And again, we're looking to the southern hemisphere as the lead on the grand solar minimum. So take a look at what this spring weather is down there. This is what holds for the northern hemisphere as we come out of our winter next March and April. This storm was so ferocious and so fast-moving and so devastating that the wildlife couldn't even get out of the way. Some images here of the cockatoo pelted by hail. 400 kangaroos killed by hail. 150 goats killed by hail. This is still in New South Wales. Veterinarian working up there says, I've never seen any large numbers like this, especially of kangaroos being killed in hail events. And with the temperature difference, all the ice in the ground created this fog bank through the forest. Things are definitely changing. In episode 122, I did my best to try to explain why governments will not actually tell you what's going on. They're going to try to preserve their continuity of government, and you are absolutely on your own. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video.